We're talking to the owner of one of the music stores thieves hit. We have crystal clear surveillance video of the men police say have been behind several guitar thefts.
How a Southern Kentucky community is planning to honor a 10-year-old boy police say was killed in a hit-and-run crash.
And how the victims of the deadly attack at a nightclub in Orlando will be remembered this weekend at Lexington's Pride Festival.
WKYT News starts now with breaking news.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. Tonight, a major road in Scott County has been shut down because of a deadly crash involving a commercial vehicle and 2 cars.
That crash happened just after 4 this afternoon on Cherry Blossom Way near Timberland Way in Georgetown. Our Monique Blair is live at the scene with the breaking details. Monique, what can you tell us?
Well, Amber and Andrea, Georgetown police are just really calling this a horrific scene and a horrific accident. Now I'm going to move out of the way so you can kind of see what happened here. This accident happened around 4:30 this afternoon. Georgetown police say the blue SUV that you can see here was turning left onto Cherry Blossom Way from Timberland Way. Police tell me the blue SUV didn't see this black car here that was driving north on Cherry Blossom. The 2 cars then collided, and the black car then spun out into oncoming traffic and collided with this semi-truck. Police tell me the driver in the black car was then pinned underneath his own car. Firefighters, along with people who saw this accident happen, about 15 people total were told, then lifted the car off the man. He was taken to the hospital, but we were just told that man has died from his injuries. The driver of the blue SUV was taken to the hospital with minor injuries, and we are told the semi-truck driver had a few minor scrapes. Now this accident is causing quite a traffic mess, so I have important information for anyone who may be coming this way anytime tonight. Cherry Blossom Way is closed between Connector Road, which is right in front of Walmart, and at US 62 at Cynthiana Road. Police expect this portion of Cherry Blossom Way to be closed for several hours tonight as they reconstruct the scene here. Now we don't know at this time who the victim is, but we will be out here for quite a while and we will update you with any new details as we get them. For now, I'm reporting live in Georgetown. Monique Blair, WKYT.
Monique, thank you. And that is a correct way to say that is just a horrific accident there. We've been talking about that all afternoon. And of course, we'll continue to keep you posted about more of that. Well, a string of thefts at Lexington music stores have been connected. Police say the suspects have been stealing thousands of dollars worth of guitars, and it was all caught on tape.
Lexington police now have arrest warrants for 2 of the suspects, Jeremiah Hager and Jarrison Banks. Kristen Kennedy tells us how police think all those guitars were stolen. It's our top story at 6.
Surveillance video from Willcut Guitar Shop shows 2 men walking in Saturday, checking out a few guitars and playing one.
Every day the people come in and try stuff.
Bob Willcut says seeing people play in his store isn't unusual.
They don't want to be hovered over. You know, these people, so you usually show them something, hook it up, answer the immediate questions, and just let them play for a while.
This is what he's not used to seeing. People running out the back with the merchandise.
We have excellent security cameras, and this should be a deterrent for people because they will be photographed very well.
Police say one of the other stores robbed was Willis Music. Employees tell us that the men ran out the front door with the guitar.
Who knows what they'll go through at this point once they're, they know that they can't go back to these music stores. They'll most likely continue to commit felony thefts.
Detective Jay Strong says Jeremiah Hager, Jarrison Banks, and a 3rd man took 9 guitars from 4 stores around town.
It's pretty much whatever people can get their hands on and get a high dollar amount for, typically for drug money.
Police have recovered 6 of the 9 guitars. In Lexington, Kristen Kennedy, WKYT.
Willcut says one of their guitars is still missing. It's a white and gold Gretsch Electromatic valued at close to $3,000.
Tonight, police still haven't been able to track down a hit-and-run driver they say killed a Pulaski County child. 10-year-old Stanley Turner died Monday night after being hit by a car on Rocklick Creek Road. Friends of Stanley's family have now organized a vigil to remember him. Hillary Thornton has more.
A wooden cross on Rocklick Creek Road, a heartbreaking reminder for many of what happened to 10-year-old Stanley Turner.
My children played at the same creeks that they played at. They could have easily been them.
The tragedy hitting close to home for parents like Maria Peterson and Leslie Dye.
I mean, it could happen to anybody, but I mean, just the way that it happened, that was just such a tragic accident.
Investigators say the young boy had walked off from playing in the creek with his brother when he was hit along the roadway, with the driver taking off.
I mean, me being a parent, I can only imagine what they're going through.
Which is why these two moms are helping put together a candlelight vigil in memory of Stanley.
Now, as the community fills this parking lot next to the Science Hill Post Office on Monday evening, they say they will be remembering Stanley while also bringing together support for his family.
Just to let everyone know just how much this little boy was loved, and to show the family that they're not alone, that we're all together.
Dye certainly knows firsthand just how much the 10-year-old was loved. These pictures taken of Stanley and her daughter at the fair, the two making their way through school together since kindergarten.
They always played with each other on the playground, and she would always come home talking about Stanley, and from what I heard, Stanley always talked about her. And one thing she said she would miss was because every day when she would leave school, he would always say, "See you, Katie." So I know it's not just rough on her, it's rough on other kids too, along with the family.
A little boy leaving behind a big impact on others. In Pulaski County, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
That vigil is planned for 7:30 Monday night. Organizers have also created a car decal in memory of Stanley. Proceeds from that will go to the family. New tonight, the University of Kentucky Board of Trustees has voted to extend President Eli Capilouto's contract. His current contract expires in 2018, but the board gave him a 3-year extension to 2021. He'll also receive a base salary increase from $535,000 to $790,000. That's a 48% increase. UK leaders say the board came up with that amount after reviewing presidential salaries at other Southeastern Conference schools. Also today, the board approved a budget for the upcoming academic year, which includes a proposed 5% increase in tuition for in-state students.
The Orlando nightclub shooting will no doubt be on the minds of those in attendance at tomorrow's Lexington Pride Festival. We spoke with organizers this afternoon about their plans to recognize the Orlando victims and security at this year's event. Tomorrow's Pride Festival is a time for the Lexington area to celebrate diversity.
We are grateful that the climate is as such right now that we can openly have a pride in the city of Lexington.
In the wake of a mass shooting that killed 49 people at a gay nightclub in Orlando, organizers have planned a tribute to the victims. In addition to a moment of silence at 2 o'clock and a mayoral proclamation, there will also be a commemoration through sound.
We're going to have a musical tribute that will involve the whole community. So I urge everybody to come down and be able to respectfully commemorate the victims and the cause.
Lexington police were quick to partner with event staff to keep everyone's mind at ease when it comes to security.
They've let us know that they have our backs as they always do. We had some very direct meetings with them, asking them what they were going to do, and they basically said, we are going to make sure that you all feel comfortable.
Wilkie says attendance is expected to be up this year, with many planning to attend the event for the first time, out of defiance to violence and in solidarity for the community. For parking tomorrow, you can find all the open lots and garages by going to lexpark.gov. You can also find that information on our website, WKYT.com. New tonight, a Kentucky lawmaker has filed a bill that would charge anyone accused of targeting a police officer, firefighter, or other first responder with a hate crime. Representative Kevin Bratcher, a Republican from Louisville, filed the bill yesterday after Louisiana's governor signed a similar bill last month. It's already a capital offense to kill a police officer or firefighter in Kentucky, but the bill would also allow judges to impose tougher sentences for anyone who targets a public safety worker as well. The Kentucky legislature will consider the bill in January.
Authorities have released some new details about the devastating floods that have hit parts of West Virginia. The state's governor now says 18 people have died in the floods and more than 100 homes have been damaged or destroyed. 44 counties in West Virginia are now under a state of emergency. About 500 people are still trapped in a shopping center north of Charleston after high water washed out the only bridge leading to it. The National Guard is now working on a temporary bridge so people can leave. Meteorologist Jim Caldwell joining me now more on this flooding. We were talking late last night before we left out of here about if those storms had been about, what, 50, 60 miles this way, we would be seeing a lot of what they're dealing with now.
Could have made a real big difference. You can see just on the graphic behind me here where Lexington is to where all of the heaviest rainfall is located there. And you're talking better than 10 inches in some cases out there. From here to Lexington, about 150 miles. Just to get into our area, you're looking at anywhere from 60 to 100, as you were talking about there. This is from basically the core of that rain to Morgan County, and you're looking at just better than 100 miles. So, you know, we always talk in the wintertime about, oh, if this storm system goes 50 miles this way, 60 miles that way, we're going to be talking about a big difference. Yeah. It works in this element as well, because you see that core of extremely heavy rainfall. Look at that. Incredible. See, here are some of the radar estimates, 9.1, 9.6. And they, in this particular area, are also a lot like eastern Kentucky is, very mountainous, so you run into more high water issues because the water starts up here, washes down the mountains, and gets into the creeks and streams.
Well, we saw that with Johnson County last year. Nothing compared to what we're talking about here in West Virginia right now, for sure, but we know how quick it can happen. And interesting talking about that line, because we do associate it just with the snowstorms, but rain as well. So, Jim, thanks so much. Andrea?
Firefighters think lightning sparked a fire that destroyed a business in downtown Campbellsville. They say it took hours to get the fire under control last night at the H&W Sports Shop. The owners say lightning struck the building just after 8 o'clock and the fire started almost immediately. Within minutes, the fire had spread to the entire building.
You got cloth, you got shoulder pads, you know, all that's very burnable. And, you know, so it was something that was, once it was inside, it was hard to contain.
The owner says the building is a total loss. He says people have already reached out offering to help him. No one was injured in the fire.
A bear caused some excitement yesterday in Danville, but are Fish and Wildlife officials any closer to catching it? The update next.
And then lottery fever hits Lexington as tonight's Mega Millions jackpot grows to one of the largest in the game's history.
Keep up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
We have new information tonight about a bear that's been spotted in Danville.
Multiple sightings were reported yesterday around the Kentucky School for the Deaf campus. Kentucky Fish and Wildlife officials tell us the last confirmed bear sighting was about 8:30 last night in downtown Danville. They had set a trap for the bear, but they say they removed it this afternoon because they think the bear has now left town. Fish and Wildlife officials think the bear was looking for a more remote location.
It's the 6th largest Mega Millions jackpot in history, $363 million. Today, many people stopped by the Dairy Mart off Reynolds Road in Lexington in hopes of buying a lucky ticket for tonight's jackpot. The owners of the store told us they've had their fair share of lucky winners. He said his store is one of the top-selling retailers in the state, and for 41 years he has watched the jackpots get bigger and bigger.
Most people, it's entertainment. It's like going to a bingo parlor or something. No, our customers don't go overboard on it. They just play it for entertainment.
We'll have the winning numbers for the Mega Millions jackpot tonight at 11.
Looking for something fun to do tonight? You can hear some live music at Lexington Green. The Lakeside Live Free Concert Series continues this weekend. The event runs from 6 until 9, both tonight and tomorrow night. You can hear the group Them Hamilton Boys tonight, and tomorrow night, Ben Lacey and Alan McKenzie will perform.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Jim Caldwell.
A much calmer day than it was yesterday. We had rounds of showers and thunderstorms firing up, moving through the area around this time. We were on with continuous coverage as we were tracking tornadic activity, at least showing up in some of those storms. Today, a completely different weather world. We look to the outside on some of our sky cams from across Kentucky, and you're going to find more of a mix of sun and clouds. Temperatures not quite as hot as they got up to yesterday either, because yesterday in some spots we were in the low and mid 90s. Today we backed off quite a bit. Look at Jackson, 83 degrees. Looks fantastic off in the distance there. So humidity is down just enough to make it almost comfortable. It's not fantastic out there, but it's almost comfortable in many locations. Elsewhere, we'll look across Kentucky. we'll find pockets of low 80s. Moorhead out to Ashland, both at 81 and 82 degrees. And of course, Moorhead changed on me right as it was happening there, but low 80s still holding steady in those areas. Factor in the humidity, bumps it up a degree or two in some cases, not a significant amount. But as we head into the weekend, this will change a lot. That's when we'll start running into some of those heat index values, probably closer to 100. Here's what we have with the heat core this weekend. Going to be much hotter out across western Kentucky, as it normally is. But here into central and parts of eastern Kentucky, we're still going to be right in the thick of it as well. Some of those daytime highs for Saturday and Sunday. Here in Lexington, we're around 90 on Saturday, but Sunday 94. Danville 91 to 95s Saturday into Sunday. Some cooler spots for your Saturday in eastern Kentucky. You might only be in the upper 80s as opposed to those low 90s. But a lot more on the way of warmth showing up to our west, where it's 96, maybe 97 for daytime highs. Actual air temperatures, not the humidity figured in there with the heat index. Isolated shower falling apart across southern Ohio, and that is all we have with our Defender Radar Network. As we work our way through the rest of the evening, overnight, and into your Saturday, you'll have some clouds around, but generally not bad. Into the afternoon and evening tomorrow, an isolated chance of a shower or a thunderstorm. Now, the chances aren't going to be widespread or all over the place out there, just some hit and miss activity. So that means the heat really gets to build in for you tomorrow, the first stage of it. It gets, of course, worse as we get into Sunday, but the same thing happens there. The rain chances get a little bit higher as well. By 9 o'clock on Sunday morning, we're already into the mid-70s, and for daytime highs, you can see those mid-90s. Again, that's the actual air temperature. That's not me saying, oh, that's your heat index or that's your feels like temperature. That is the actual air temperature. What will save you or give you some relief will be these showers and maybe even a thunderstorm or two. The problem is you can kind of see it all lining up to our north along a frontal boundary. Some of that might even have the possibility of being a little strong or even severe. Marginal risk showing up across parts of Kentucky for severe weather into your Sunday. Just not into our area yet, but as the weekend kind of works on and wears on here, we'll be tracking better chances of that maybe coming together. And once the storms begin, they're here to stay. You've got the daily chance it rolls right on into next week. So this weekend, hot and steamy. Just be prepared for that and be prepared for showers and thunderstorms. Welcome to summer.
The heat is on. Yeah, welcome. I almost said January. It is not January. June.
No, you're thinking
It's
like
Friday,
Chris Bailey.
folks. It is.
Well, the Big Blue Nation has lost one of its heroes.
Herky Rupp was so proud of his father, we will hear it in his own words. And Denver able to land Jamal Murray at number 7, and according to Cal, happy he was still there and available. Sports is next. The Denver Nuggets needed a shooter, and they landed one last night in Kentucky's Jamal Murray. The Nuggets made Murray the number 7 overall pick. Now, this team has missed the playoffs the last 3 years. Murray believes he can give Denver a lift.
Provide shooting. I can stretch the floor for them, be another playmaker off the ball. Play with Moutier. Find shots for each other. Work together. I think it'll be a very teamwork-oriented team.
Young players, they loved him. They thought he was the 3rd best player. See, and again, these guys all rate these guys different. They looked at it, they couldn't believe he was still there, but it's fine.
Skal Labissiere is headed to the Sacramento Kings, and like the Phoenix Suns, who have a treasure chest of former UK guards, the Kings are accumulating the forwards. With the Kings, Skal will learn from the likes of DeMarcus Cousins and Willie Cauley-Stein.
Oh, definitely. I'm always around. I've been around Willie a lot, especially him. I've been around DeMarcus Cousins, so when I get there, I'm ready to go to work against them. DeMarcus Cousins is probably the best center in the league, and going against him every single day and learning from him will be good for me.
Now, Alex Poitras was not drafted last night, but according to Draft Express, he will play for the Orlando Magic in the Orlando Summer League. Poitras was not listed in any mock drafts. Well, the Wildcat basketball program lost a link to its great past. Herky Rupp, who played for his dad Adolph at UK, passed away Wednesday at the age of 75. Herky was a 6'4" forward who played at Kentucky for 3 seasons, 1959 to 62, appearing in a total of 14 games, scoring a career 11 points. And a little-known fact, the Kentucky coach let his young son score the first ever basket in the Coliseum after construction was complete and the goals were put in place. The son also knew what an important cultural influence his dad was here in the Commonwealth.
He made Kentucky basketball what it is today, because when he came here in 1930, we were in the midst of the Depression. Kentucky was not a rich state, and he gave the people of Kentucky, whether it was as far eastern Kentucky or far western Kentucky, something that they could hang their hat on and say, this is something that we're proud of, this is something that we're better than you at, and that's basketball.
John Calipari putting out a statement this afternoon. Herky always had great stories to tell, and he would always set the record straight. He was immensely proud and honored that his father was one of the great coaches of all time. He will be missed. Arrangements are set. Visitation Wednesday, 4 to 7, Millward Broadway. Funeral will be Thursday at 11 in the morning, and burial at Lexington Cemetery. Herky, always great to us here at the station, and to me personally, we will miss him. Andrea, Amber, back to you.
Thank you, Rob. The final check of your first alert forecast is next.
Then on the CBS Evening News, a closer look at how the United Kingdom's decision to leave the European Union could affect the U.S. economy.
Well, summer just got started, but man, it is here in full force.
Yeah, it really wants you to know it's here, and it's going to hang around with us, especially this weekend. Low 90s, mid 90s by Sunday. You'll catch some relief if you get under a shower or a thunderstorm, like we all want to see that after we've had so much rain here recently. But it's a pattern that's going to lock in through the rest of the week, guys.
And sad to lose Herky. Going to be really missed.
Really enjoyed Herky.
Yeah,
Going to miss him a lot.
Thanks so much for joining us tonight. We'll see you back here at 11.